The Ramones are one of my biggest influences in life. From the time my parents showed me their first album, I was instantly hooked. That wall of sound that just blasted out of the speakers blew my tiny brain. That point on, I was addicted. Now when I listen to the Ramones, it reminds me still of my childhood. Countless hours of riding down the road with Rocket to Russia or their self-titled. It's almost like comfort food. I still wonder how these four misfits from Queens created such an original sound, all while their songs being less than 3 minutes. Not only did I love their music, but the way they would dress. They changed pop culture, ripped jeans, leather jacket, pair of Chucks, and a random t-shirt. After and even during the time the Ramones were still around, everyone bit their style and made it their own. Even though everyone was influenced by the Ramones, they themselves paid respect to their heroes of the 50s and 60s. They would go on to cover bands and artists such as Bob Dylan, the Beach Boys, the Doors, Jefferson Airplane, the Animals, the Rolling Stones, the Trashmen, Tom Waits, the Ronettes, the Who, and many more. All bands and artists that I love too. The Ramones just took it to the next level by speeding up the songs and turning it to their own. Much like the band Kiss and their predecessors, the Beatles, the Ramones were one of the first bands that had their own movie. It was called Rock and Roll High School, which was made in 1979, which also happens to be one of my favorite movies of all time. I can't really say how many times I've personally watched over the years. The score of that film is amazing. I absolutely adore the campy humor in that movie. It's one of those films that I just randomly spout out references to when life reminds me of certain parts. Another thing that made the Ramones one of the greatest bands of all time were their live performances. Just legendary. A straight barrage of in-your-face rock and roll. 3 hours of 1, 2, 3, 4, and on to the next wonderful song. The stage presence alone of Joey Ramone is enough to grab your attention and never take your eyes off the stage. Joey and Dee Dee Ramone were their own entity. I never got to see them live. They retired the band on August 6, 1996, just 6 days before I was born. Sadly, all 4 original members have passed away: Joey, Johnny, Dee Dee, and Tommy. The Ramones will forever be in my heart for the rest of my own life. One day, I'll even show my kids them.